welcome or welcome back. My name is Brittany and today's video is really fun. I'm excited for this one. I am going to be walking you through my 2025 digital reading journal. So in the past, I have used notebooks in conjunction with different apps, mainly Goodreads. I've tried an Excel sheet. I'm always just trying different ways to stay organized, but the most consistent way I have been tracking books for the last couple years has been in my iPad. I also use this as my YouTube brainstorming, scheduling, like creative space as well to prep for videos, keep track of things. And I have kind of just set up how I want my 2025 reading journal to look in a way where I feel like I can start using it. This journal will definitely change as the year goes on. I'm always adding new pages, like I said, trying out different formats of things, different ways to track, so I can stay as consistent as possible and just honestly keep track of like all the other things I have going on in my brain. Like without writing something down, I would be absolutely clueless as to anything in life. I use Canva to design all of these pages, and I sometimes even just like freehand pages within GoodNotes, which is my preferred note-taking app. I have not upgraded to GoodNotes 6. I'm still using GoodNotes 5, mainly because I don't know if I have to pay for it, and I don't really feel like I need the AI features. What was like new with the update. So I'm still using GoodNotes 5, and that's the only note-taking app I've tried, but honestly, I love it. I feel like I can do a lot of things with it, and just the digital side of note-taking has really just like opened up my own creativity as well. So without further ado, I'll quit yapping and let's jump to the iPad. Okay, so this is my just GoodNotes home screen. You can see I have a 2025 reading and YouTube already ready. So this first page is really just a vision board collage of basically books and me sleeping on the couch and trying to read and cuddling with dogs and trying not to cry. You know, just the normal reader things, right? But I just thought this was a fun way to have basically a cover page. I also made this cover page very basic, just 2025 digital reading journal. In the left-hand corner, there's 4 squares. If you click that, then you can just see all of the pages in the journal. If I wanted to change what my cover page is, I would just drag and move the digital journal page over, close out of that, and now if I go back to like my home documents page in GoodNotes, now the digital reading journal is now the cover page of the notebook. So I'm just gonna go back to the just like a little mood board. I think it's just fun and different, and I don't know, I just like it. The next page is bookish bingo. So I think I'm going to do my reading goals a little bit different this year, and one way is just to be more varied in my reading. But I found last year when I set a bunch of reading goals, it was very hard to stick to like one nonfiction a month, one, this category month, one that, one this. Like I didn't do it. But I thought making a game out of it would increase my success, and also I just feel like I picked a lot of fun things. So if you need some book bingo ideas, I have rereads, like something I reread, completing a series, a DNF or something I did not finish, reading a borrowed book and returning it, and this is more so books I have like borrowed from friends from like a long time ago that I need to read and return. Reading a library book, that is definitely something I want to do more of next year, is going to the library. Reading a book in a day, reading a nonfiction book, a classic, a book nominated for an award, something that is written by an author that would be new to me, short story, translated work, you gotta have a free space, books that start with B because my name's Brittany, a book that is 600 plus pages, a book I already own, a book I've never heard of. I think this one is also really fun because when you're someone who consumes a lot of book content, you just hear about books a lot. And so it's very challenging to actually find a book I've not heard of talked about on the internet or just within the book media I consume. So this one, I feel like I did earlier this year, and so I'm just gonna keep that as like a challenge. When I'm in the bookstore, like picking out books the good old-fashioned way by like, looking at them. Instead of just always getting something from the internet. A book about nature, a book that made me cry, a 5-star read, memoir, poetry collection, a Kindle Unlimited read so I can try to make sure I'm taking advantage of that membership, a debut novel, and a book published this year in 2025. The next page, this is what I'm calling a dashboard. So again, just 2025 books. I think I'm gonna maybe do another like collage, or I don't know. I just basically have this as like a free space. Maybe book pictures throughout the year, or like I don't know. I just like some structure but free spaces. So we'll see what fills in here. But this down here is kind of cool. So if in the right hand corner you have like a bookmark icon, this little page, like add a page, next to it looks like a pen is crossed out. If you hit that, then I can click all of these things here. Bingo. It takes me back to the bingo page. If I click bingo, the bookish bingo title, it brings me back to this dashboard. And I set up all of these things to link to different pages, so I can not only swipe left and right to navigate, but I can click these links as well. The next one I have is book covers. So this page is blank, but my thought process here is like the random screenshots I take. Like when I'm listening to people on YouTube talk about books, if I'm busy, I just screenshot like the video with the book they have held up, or like, I don't know, if I do end up having like pictures of the book from the internet, like you can just drag and drop things, which is really easy. So let's find Orbital by Samantha Harvey is something I want to read. So I can just Google that, go to images, find the cover I like, and then I can just like kind of drag and drop it over. And the reason I kind of like this as like maybe a brain dump of the books, a catch-all page, is because sometimes I am using the same books for different TBRs or lists, or maybe I didn't finish it and so I want to bring it back again. I have this page to try to catch them all if I don't have a specific review or other video page with that book icon, so that I'm not like researching the same book like over and over and over again. So that's kind of my thought process with this page. Turn off editing mode and then we can go back to our dashboard again. I have a reviews page. So this page is actually more so like a bookmark, like a section within the notebook. So some digital journals are set up in a way where everything is linked. Like you don't swipe left or right like you would in a normal journal. You just click all these links. That is too much for me. Like some journals have like hundreds and hundreds of pages and links, and that is insane. Like just the links I have made took me hours, let alone linking like every individual thing. And I don't want to have a notebook with like, let's say 100 blank review pages just taking up space. So if you look in this format, I have my reviews page, and then I have 4 different pages that follow that. Also, just this castle just felt very like fantasy-esque, and I just really liked it. So this first page is a format I'm trying out right now. We'll see if I like it, but basically I just have a space for 5 different reviews. On the left side, I can add a book picture here. In this corner, this is how I like keep track of how many books I've read. So it would be 1 out of 1. So like 1 book for the month out of the entire year. So like at the end of January, maybe it would be like 9/9. So I read 9 books in January, 9 books for the year. But in February, let's say now it's 3 and, oh gosh, math, I don't know, 15. So now for like, if this is January, so now for February, I've read 3 books for February here, but I've read 15 total. So that's how I go down here in this like top left-hand corner. 3/15, 4/15, and then the new month would be 1/16. So that's like how I keep track of like the actual number. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that is what I do. It makes sense to me. Author format, keeping track of the format is something I've been trying to do a little bit more of. Just, as an audiobook, obviously, versus physical, Kindle, library, borrowed, something I owned. I also like to keep track of my purchases, so I like to denote the format there. Narrator if it's an audiobook, and then do I recommend it, and my star rating. I don't typically do star ratings really, just because I think reading is super nuanced, and it takes a lot for me to be like, wow, that was the best book ever, because then I'm like, wait, is there a better book out there? Like, I guess I have a trouble, not like commitment issues, but like trouble like being all in sometimes with an emotion. So I don't know. For the most part, like 1 or 2 stars is something I did not like. 3 is average. Like a 3-star is still decent. Like I liked it, but it's not an all-time favorite. 4s and 5s are like, wow, I really enjoyed this, and 5 would be like the best of the best. Like something really, really enjoyable. Up in this space here, I write like the title of the book along here, and then I like having a start and end date for my books. And then this space is kind of nice. I can just freehand notes, or I can use the type texting feature and type my thoughts here. Sometimes I will even just like copy and paste the book description in this area, because I want to try to just have all of my reviews and notes and thoughts on a book in one spot. For a while, I was using iCloud notes because I can type a lot faster than I can write, but then I was still bouncing in different places. And so if I can keep like all of these book reviews in one spot, that would just be really helpful for videos down the road. The next page I've used this format before as well. So this is just more like a bird's eye view of just the books I've read, and this could be like monthly, which I have done. I had like a page per month, so we'll see how I want to do that again. But I basically just have the same information, a spot, you know, for the book picture, star rating. I have some extra information here, like the genre, the number of pages. I was keeping track of page count last year. I'd have to do some math, but I think I could figure it out for this year too. It'd take me a while, but I could. And then if I have a specific review for it or not. This one is just a single book review. So if there's something I am like very passionate about and I have a lot of notes of, I could fill this page out. And again, just same thing, single book review, just a different format with the information on the side. And then I broke this section up, pacing, characters, romance, storyline, and plot, as just a way to be a better reviewer, looking at these individual components in a book versus just like a blanket rating for the entire book. Because I find a lot of times I really enjoy maybe like the characters or the world, but I didn't like the story. Or I loved the pacing, but like the romance sucked. Like, I don't know, there's different things to like and dislike about books. So I have options there. What's cool is just having these blank pages. I can go to like the plus add a page and just add the current template. So I don't have to have, like I mentioned, like hundreds of copies of the same page in here. I can just copy the template as needed. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to go back to our dashboard. In progress videos, this page is also just the same concept. So I have an example to show you. So again, this is basically just like a bookmark, but in progress videos are things I'm working on and brainstorming. So I don't think I will do this video by the end of the year, but one video idea I think would be really fun would be an anti-TBR. And so I just have notes here. A Little Life, Tenders of Flesh, Zodiac Academy, things that I don't think I will be reading anytime soon. So here I can take notes on why, I can add more books as time goes on, and then when I finish the book, I can then go back to like the big view and take that page and drag it all the way down to done videos. Oops. Sometimes you have to just drag a little bit at a time. So now it's done and it's kind of at the end of my journal and I don't have to worry about it. I did make same thing, basically just a page to denote, you know, my different sections in the book, because I not only swipe left and right, I do a big like macro jump within the journal and utilize the links in order to find stuff a lot easier. Going back to the bingo board, or the dashboard, I have a page for new releases. I have filled out a couple here. Emily Henry has a new book. Hers usually drops sometime in the spring, called Great Big Beautiful Life, which I will be picking up. I really enjoy her. And then Taylor Jenkins Reid has a book called Atmosphere. I think it's like an astronaut love story, coming out in June, I think is the most recent update. So again, I just took these, like I just searched the book online and drug these pictures over. And then this side column, like Future Red God by Pierce Brown. This is the 7th and final book in the Red Rising saga. That's like on my radar. We don't have any information yet, but I will be reading that when we do. Go back to my dashboard. So this is a master list. I just wanted to have somewhere to put like all my brain dump ideas of videos. So like a readathon, crocheting Kindle covers, romance or Valentine's Day recs, an iPad flip through. I definitely plan on doing a flip through of my book journal from this year, just a completed one, so you can see just like how real and messy it is. I think something that stops a lot of people from bullet journals, journals in general, iPads, whatever the case may be, is that it's not aesthetic or pretty, and like mine look insane. Like, do I have some nice pages? Yeah. But do I also have scribbles and like terrible handwriting and just like a chaotic thing of notes? Totally. So I think that would be cool. A bookshelf tour. I think we're going to build some new bookshelves so like this gap is filled in and so I can get my books off the floor. Running miles. This is probably going to be like a summer thing, but like someone did a video where they like ran so many miles and then they like purchased that many books. So 3 miles would be 3 books. Might be a fun way to get back into running. I really want to check out Storygraph. I tried it like barely for like 2 seconds earlier this year, but I think I might delete all my information and like just start Storygraph brand new in 2025 because I really like the pie graphs. I like how you can set different like stats. I think that would be a really easy way to track library, physical, ebooks, audiobooks. I like having that information broken up for me. You can really customize a lot of that stuff. So I think I will try to use Storygraph a little bit more next year for that. Books about nature, books about Alaska. I've had this jean jacket in my closet that I decided to like start putting book things on that I need to like finish. So I think a craft video would be really fun. Talk about book club recommendations, like book club crafts, just like book club discussion, like how to have a good book club, reading books from friends, more books versus movies, and like things that are on my Kindle and Audible. Like I just think having, you know, when I'm feeling particularly uninspired, I have a list of things that I could pull from. Back to the dashboard we go. Oh, 100 books. This is a fun one. So it looks like nothing, but all of these squares, there's 100 squares here, and I just thought it would be fun as I read a book, like putting a book, like picture, in every single square, like so, and I just think that would be fun to see all of my books throughout the year. I'm a very visual person, and I just like seeing everything I've read, because then I can be like, oh yeah, like when I see it, I know what stands out more. I'm able to like pick my favorites and just remember like how the year went by seeing it and like through pictures. So I think this would be really fun to fill out throughout the year. And then we already talked about done videos. As I finish things, I'll just drag them throughout the journal. I did make a content calendar as well for YouTube. So I have it broken up into 3 months. And that just gives me like the easiest way to think about things. It's the most like seasonal and like quarterly. I don't know. It's just set up nice, right? I guess this year, 2024, I would have, I don't know. I'll just like randomly fill something out. So let's say I want to film my bookshelf tour. Then I can like, you know, edit. And then I make all my thumbnails and stuff on my iPad as well. Oops. So then I can just like grab my thumbnail and I just have like, okay, video went live this day. Wow. There's so many of me. So we're just gonna call this a bookshelf tour, even though this is my Life Drip Traders thumbnail. Then I can just fill that out as far as like planning purposes and what I have done throughout the months and years too. Because then I can look ahead like, oh, I've got, 3 videos planned for January, only 1 for February. What else can I make? What else do I feel called to chat about, read, whatever? Then I can just see it at like a bigger view and just stay a little more organized, and then take this information here and bring it to like my calendar that I use for my daily life, so then I can, work that in with other life as well. I'm just gonna scroll through the pages now. So this page I added in. So if I upgraded to Canva Pro, I could have a document that has both landscape and horizontal pages. I am cheap and have not done that yet, even though I use Canva like every day. But if I did, then I could have like multiple pages within one document. But basically, in order to get horizontal pages into this journal, I had to create a new like page in Canva, set up the horizontal pages the way I wanted, and then I just downloaded and opened in this journal. It always like brings it usually to the end of the journal, and I just moved around where I want it. So this is more like reading plans, like specifically books I want to read. So like summer vibes, like I'll probably read some horror stuff, some, thrillers, like, and then I can just, again, take book pictures and like put the books that I think I want to read throughout the year in the corresponding spots. We talked about the book covers. This is how I think I'm going to start tracking books, just because I don't like having big chunks on the review page I had set up. You'll see a little bit more of that when I go through my 2024 reading journal, but I had a format like this in my like physical notebook that I kind of liked. So basically all I really did was like dates, title format. I would highlight the date so I could easily see like what was January, February, March. And if I didn't finish something, I could cross it off, but I liked having it there because I knew like how many books I was like DNFing, not picking up, or like grabbing and stopping, because sometimes I do that a lot. Like I do that a lot. So I just did that recently with 2 books. So right now what am I reading? Oh, Ministry of Time. And then I read part of like 75 pages or so of the Once and Future Witches. And then what else am I working on? Oh, the Foul Days. I'm just going to make some of these dates up. Let's just say 12. 3. I think I started this last month. So the Once and Future Witches I actually put down for now. So all I'm going to do is just cross it off. And it's hard to explain. I just like that. Because then I can be like, oh, like I DNF'd or put down like 4 different books in the month of January that I didn't finish reading. Like when it's all filled out, you can just look at all the things you aren't finishing, because I am not like afraid to put a book down. So I enjoyed the Once and Future Witches. I just didn't really feel like reading it right now. So I stopped, and I'm going to come back to it probably in the fall. But it's just, I don't know. I kind of wanted to come back to this because, let's see. I'll show you this page here. I just don't like how this looks, where I have, book review, and then just nothing. And then if I were to have like another book review, if I am DNFing multiple things, then that's just like a lot of space to take up with this specific layout. So I think having more of like a running log will be kind of nice. And then I can just, adjust it from there. So that is my thought process with this page. Talked about 100 books. Okay, so this is like a stats page. I am going to fill out this bottom corner. I like tracking stuff a lot. So I have all my stats from 2020 and onward. I didn't start counting like pages, hours of audiobooks or like money spent until last year. But I just think it's really interesting to see this total across the board. So I will just fill this out as I go, keeping track of these different items. And then over here, I have a yearly breakdown, number of books. So, I can fill this out like let's make it bigger. So like 10, yay. How much should I spend? $50. I read 7,500 pages. Who knows? That's a lot. 3 physical books, 2 ebooks. Oh gosh, I have to do math. 5 audio, and then let's say 70 hours. All the audiobooks tell you like what the length is. And then I just have this extra column that I can, put something else here. And I could, change my color to black and or gray and make more columns as I see fit. But that way I just have like a way to track this information throughout the year. And then it'll just be easier to total at the end of 2025. And then all of this like space here, who knows? I approach this journal like a bullet journal almost, where I like some structure, but I also like a lot of free space. So that is this page. Hopefully we keep on top of that. This one is how I'm going to track my bookish spending. And again, just like I said, this is going to be more of a freeform page as I go. So sometimes, let's see if I can find one fairly quickly. So this picture here, I got these 2 books at the bookstore. So, you know, I could make something like just like quick and easy. I think this was $75 or something ridiculous. So then like for, you know, November, I could take all my screenshots or pictures of books I've read, you know, put them all in this area. And then, you know, add like November, $100. And then, I don't know, have some like cutesy designs and, you know, like December, it's over here, like January, I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But this was literally how I envisioned this page going, because I've had structured charts before and I don't really fill them out. I sometimes keep track of these things in my notes, but again, I'm trying to just condense where I'm keeping all my book and YouTube information. So I think this might just be more helpful and honestly more fun to fill out. So we're going to try this format. This page is it's the same calendar as the reading plans, like picking the books I want to read next year, but it's more like content plans. So I have November, December, and January in this first square, and then I just have all the months. I really just have like more seasonal things planned and just loosely outlined for next year. I do have like September is banned books week. I do want to do something around that. June is audiobook appreciation month again. Do something about audiobooks. You know, I just have like themed ideas for each month. So I'm starting to plan for next year. We have our actual content planners, which we talked about. Oh, this is another like freeform page I've started working on. So this is going to be my series tracker for next year. So I'm working on the Realm of the Elderlings. I'd like to finish the Belladonna trilogy, Harry Potter, Skyward, The First Law, The Empire of the Wolf, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I just have that last book to finish, and The Faithful and the Fallen. I will honestly probably just reread Malice and then like keep going. But I thought this would just be, again, a fun way to like have the book pictures, because I'm going to use these images again for like my review pages, my wrap-ups, like any other video, you know? So then I just have it all in one spot. Hopefully, that's the plan. I think, oh, here's another book idea I had. Books about nurses, a gift guide, reading genres. Yeah, so there you have it. That is my 2025 reading journal flip through. Do you have any questions? Let me know down below. I actually love journals and planners. That would probably be like a subset of videos I could do, because I use my iPad for my like regular daily calendar. I already have my 2025 planner like set up. We're like mostly ready to go. And I just love it. I've always been a planner person, and I really do enjoy the creativity and flexibility I get from the iPad. So do you keep track of your books in any way, shape, or form? Do you use a paper planner, digital journal? Like, let's chat about it down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!